Then I will share our discussion today after this class. Okay, in this week 7, we are going to discuss about the cloud computing. Computing is one of the most important part. If you want to build an application, then you want your application will be used by a lot of people. So you need to put your application in cloud computing providers. So this is why we should learn about the cloud computing. And it is related with the operating system because we can build a computer server using the cloud computing providers. As you can see, I was mentioning before, like if you want to build a computer server, so your computer will be accessed uh, by a lot of client, right? So this is why we should learn about the cloud computing. And for the content for this course, we will learn about the why cloud computing, why we should use the cloud computing, and what is cloud computing. And we also learn about the kind of cloud computing providers. As you can see right here, there are a lot of cloud computing providers: Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud, and Alibaba Cloud, and many more. So in this course, we will focus on the Microsoft Azure, because we have access to Microsoft Azure account by using your, student account. We can use some features that provided by Microsoft Azure. Why cloud computing? Imagine that you have a great idea to create an application. Maybe you want to create a social media application. Social media application is used by a lot of users, right? So imagine that you want to create a social media application. So you must make sure that your application is run every time, right? So you must to build computer server. You must to build your computer server for maybe because your application use a database, so you must put the database server on your computer server, right? In order to make your idea become true, you have to make sure your application can be used by anyone, anytime, and anywhere. All of your application services must be placed on a server that is always on. Always on means that your computer server is run every time, 24 hours in a day, right? Maybe you will think that, yeah, maybe I can use my computer in my home, then I will run my computer 24 hours in a day. Is it good? Is it a good idea or not? Yeah, we will discuss it after this. To maintain a server that is always on, you definitely need a lot of resources such as computer servers, storage, developers, dedicated network, application security, and definitely cost, right? You put your computer server in your home. Maybe you also need to put your computer server in a safe place, right? We don't know. Yeah, we cannot predict what will happen in our computer server. Maybe there is disaster. We will not hope that, but it is a risk, right? We can avoid the risk. So maybe there is earthquake, right? So your computer uh, may be broken after that. So your application will not run, right? You also need a developers to maintain your computer server, right? And you also need a dedicated network, application security, and cost. You must pay the electricity in a month because you run your computer server 24 hours, and it will need a lot of cost, right? This approach is costly during the initial setup, and there are security risks if you don't handle properly. As our application grows in the future, we also need to upgrade resources with various configurations, right? Right now, you build a computer server and you put 16 gigabyte of RAM, and you also use Intel Core i5 maybe for your computer server. And when your application grows in the future, you need to upgrade your computer server. When you upgrade your computer server, you need a configuration, right? And it is not an easy configuration. If you configure your computer server, if you upgrade your computer server, so there is a risk that your computer server will not run, right? That's why we use cloud computing service. This problem can be solved using cloud computing. Maybe you think that what is cloud computing? Cloud computing is a providers, like cloud computing. You put your computer in a cloud. You will use a providers for cloud computing, and you don't need to be worried about your computer server because it is handled by the providers. So you don't need to maintain your computer server. You can just pay for the cloud computing providers. Cloud computing is a platform that provides access to various computing resources via the internet network. The resources provided can be virtual machines, storage, database servers, and etc. So yeah, you can build the virtual machine in cloud computing providers. So you don't need to buy a computer, you don't need to buy a monitor, you don't need to buy, or you don't need to rent a place for placing your computer server. You can just uh, pay into the cloud computing providers. Then you can use some features that provided by the cloud computing providers. Then yeah, it could be virtual machines, storage, database servers, and web servers, right? Then you will pay what you use. Yeah, that is the process when we use the cloud computing providers. Cloud computing users can use only certain resources which they need. Of course, cloud computing users only pay for what they use. When you want to use only the database server, so you will pay only for the database server. But if maybe you think that I need a virtual machines, so you only pay for the virtual machines. Maybe I only need the web server, so you only pay for the web server. Yeah, this is the positive things for the cloud computing. The following are some examples of the use of cloud computing. Yeah, cloud computing can be used for the machine learning and data analysis, for the data storage and backup, streaming media content, hosting blogs and application. And these are some cloud computing providers. There are a lot of cloud computing providers. Alibaba Cloud, AWS. AWS stands for Amazon Web Service, Google Cloud Platform, VMware, Liquid Web, Microsoft Azure, Oracle Cloud, and Salesforce. And these are some cloud computing providers. But many more. There are other the cloud computing providers. But actually, in this course, we will focus on the Microsoft Azure, right? We will explore the features provided by cloud computing from Microsoft Azure relating to the operating system. So, because you have learned how to build a virtual machine in your computer, right? So, we will try to build a virtual machine using Microsoft Azure. You have an Azure account provided by Ubaya. I think you have tried to log into your Microsoft Azure account when you download the operating system, the ISO of Windows 10. You have been logged into your Microsoft Azure account. So I think it's not a problem for you for using the Microsoft Azure. Microsoft Azure, commonly referred to as Azure, so we can call it just Azure, is a cloud computing service created by Microsoft to build, test, deploy, and manage applications and services through Microsoft managed data centers. To open the Microsoft Azure, you can just open at this link www.azure.microsoft.com and click sign in at the top right corner of the homepage. Then click portal. Azure is a paid cloud computing service with the concept of pay as you go. So you will pay what you use. As a student, you are entitled to a credit of $100, which is valid for 365 days from activation. So for example, if you claim your credit in this day, 2024 March, right? So it will valid for the next 365 days. But uh, you can use that $100 for use some features for using some features in Microsoft Azure. Okay, as you can see right here, if you open the Azure homepage in azure.microsoft.com, you will see this, yeah, this homepage. Then you need to sign in, right? You need to sign in. Then you can use your Microsoft account that provided by our campus. So I will give you, wait. So yeah, you need to open azure.microsoft.com. I am a lecturer, so I also have Azure account. So yeah, you need to sign in first. Okay, yeah, I borrow my I borrow Mr. Miftah account for the Microsoft Azure because I have used my credit, $100 credit for, yeah, for trying some features in Microsoft account in Microsoft Azure. So I need to borrow my the Mr. Miftah account. So it's okay because I will not use all of $100 from Mr. Miftah account. So yeah, after we log into Microsoft Azure, you need to choose the portal menu. So you will be directed to the portal of the Microsoft Azure, right? So you will see some features, some service that provided by the Microsoft Azure. As you can see right here, we can create a SQL database. We can also create a virtual machines, right? And more service. There are a lot of service that provided by Microsoft Azure, right? But actually, we will not try it one by one because in this course, in this operating system course, we only focus on the features or on the service that related to the operating system. So we will try to create a virtual machines. But actually, when you use the virtual machine service, so you need to claim your credit first, right? You need to claim $100 credit, but it's optional. It's up to you to use it or not, because I think that in this course, $100 it's just for valid for 365 days. But actually, maybe in another course in the future, you need that $100, $100 credits. But if you activate now, it's only for 1 year. Maybe in the next 2 years, you will need it. So you cannot use it again, right? So it's optional. It's up to you to claim 100 credit or not. It's up to you. It's your right. But yeah, I just show to you how to claim your credit, right? But we will not use that credit. It's up to you if you want to claim it now or not. It's up to you, because $100 is very useful, right? Maybe your $100 in Microsoft Azure can be used for another course that more needed than this operating system course. So we will back to the portal. As you can see right here, you will see access student benefits, right? This option is for claiming your credit, $100 credit. So you can just choose learn more, then wait, explore, then claim your Azure credit now. So if you press this button, you will get $100 credit from Azure, because you are a student, and also I'm a lecturer. So I I am eligible to get 100 credit from Azure, and it's valid for 365 days. So if you have $100 credit from Azure account, you can use some service that provided by the Azure, like virtual machine. So I will show to you how to create a virtual machine, right? But actually, because I have not claimed my 100 credit dollars, I have not claimed the Mr. Miftah account for the $100. So I cannot uh, use the virtual machine service that is provided by the Azure, right? So we will move back to the slide. Then, yeah, okay. So after you claim your $100 credit, you will see that after you choose the virtual machine service, you will be directed to the virtual machine homepage. So you can just press the add button. Then you need to configure your computer server. So you can choose what version of the Windows that you will use for your computer server. As I was mentioning before, that you have a virtual machine, so you have a virtual computer, right? Virtual computer also have virtual computer also has the operating system, and you can also configure it about the resources in your computer server. You can choose the region. So the region means where is your computer server will be placed. Yeah, it depends on your need. If you build an application that you have a target for the user, your user is from the Asia region, so it's better if you use the region Asia. But if you have an application, if you put an application that the users from Europe maybe, so it's better if you choose the Europe region, right? So it depends on your need, what region that you will use for your computer server, for your virtual machine, right? So you need to, yeah, configure the size. The size mean is the resources of your computer server. So for example, standard size, it means it has two virtual CPUs, 8 GB memory, and the cost is around 1 million 1.5 million, right? Yeah. If you activate your credit, right? If you activate your credit now, then you run your virtual machine in amount, so you will lose your credit. Yeah, because your credit is around, if we convert $100 to rupiah, it's around maybe 1.4 million, right? So if you choose the standard option for your virtual machine, so it just maybe your computer server only run in amount, right? Okay, I will use my another account because, as I was mentioning before, I borrow Mr. Miftah account, right? So I will move back to my account because I have activated my credit, but actually uh, it's not valid because I activated around 2 years ago. So I will uh, use my another account. It's my real account. I have activated my credit, but yeah, it has been expired. Okay, yeah. So I have tried to activate for the second times. I just think that maybe after I activate again, after I activate for the second times, I can get $100 again, but it's not. So for my second claim, I cannot get the $100 again. So if I choose my subscription, so I will be directed to the cost management page, as you can see right here. I will check my remaining credit. Okay, then check my balance. Okay, I just want to see what is my remaining credit, but actually it will be zero because I have used all of my credit and it is also expired, I think. So yeah. Oh wait, actually I can get $100 again, right? I hey, I don't know. Yeah, it's I activated 6 days ago, right? Then I can get $100 again, I think. So the total credit is 100 US dollars, right? I don't know. I have activated 2 years ago. Then I just tried to activate again 6 days ago, so I can get $100 again. So yeah, it's a good news for us, right? We can activate more than one more than one times. Okay, then yeah, it's a good news for us because we can use it. We can get $100 for the second claim, right? As you can see right here, my credit is active, it's valid until 18 March in 2022, right? Because I activated 6 days ago. It's around, yeah, 17 March last week. I activated, then I can get $100 again. Yeah, it's good news, I think. Wait a minute. I will check it in my account. Wait. Okay, I can get $100 again. I don't expect it because I don't know. Maybe there is some rules in Microsoft Azure. So the student or the lecturer yeah, the student, because I use the student Azure sponsorship, right? So I can claim more than one uh, for getting the $100 credit, right? So it's good news for us. So we will move back to the uh, Azure homepage. So because operating system is our course, so I will use some service that related to the operating system. So I will choose the virtual machines. So I will create a virtual machine, not in my virtual box, but in Microsoft Azure. So the positive things, if we create a virtual machines in cloud computing providers, we can remote it everywhere, right? Because we will get the public IP. So we have a virtual computer in our cloud computing service. So I will just add, then create virtual machine. Add virtual machine. Wait. Yeah, it's like in our slide. Then we can choose the configuration for our computing, for our virtual machine. So for example, I will use, yeah, the size, I will choose the minimum size. The minimum size is just 2 virtual CPUs, 8 GB memory, and it costs around 1.5 million. So I will choose it. Yeah, it's okay if I cancel to run my virtual machine. We can cancel, we can stop our virtual machine. So our credit will not be used for our virtual machine. So I will use the the recommended by image publisher. So the name of my virtual machine, I will name it as Naufal. Then the image means the operating system that we will use. Yeah, there are a lot of operating system that we can use, like Ubuntu server, Windows server. If we just see all images, so yeah, we have a lot of option. We have a lot of option to choose the operating system, right? So maybe it is best for us to use the Windows, because we have learned about the Windows operating system. And for after midterm exam, we will use the Ubuntu server, right? So I will use the Windows 10 Pro, right? The username contains special characters. Yeah, we can just follow the rules. The username cannot contain special character. It means the user of the virtual machine. So I will name it as Naufal92. Then the password, yeah, the password I will use my password. Okay, so we can remote this virtual machine using the default port for the uh, remote desktop protocol is 3389, right? Select which virtual machine network ports are accessible from the public internet. So we can use our virtual machine. We can remote our virtual machine everywhere, right? Because it is accessible. The port are accessible from the public internet, right? Then this will allow IP address to access your virtual machine. This will allow all IP address. So maybe I remote my virtual machine from my computer, and my computer in my home has an IP address, right? So my computer can remote this virtual machine, because this allow all IP address to access my virtual machine. Okay, I confirm I have an eligible Windows 10 license with multi-tenant hosting rights. Okay, because uh, I use Windows 10 Pro, so I will not pay for the license, because yeah, I have paid it because it's, if we choose the size 1.5 millions, it's include the license for the Windows 10 Pro. Virtual machine name, okay. Then the next option is to configure the disk. So I will choose the disk, yeah, premium SSD. So we can choose on the disk type SSD, HDD, SDD. Yeah, I will use the premium SSD. Yeah, I will leave it a default option. Then okay, next. Yeah, it's up to you. If you activate, if you claim your $100 credit, it's up to you. I just present to you how to use the credits for running the virtual machine, right? Then yeah, virtual network, I will just, yeah, I will just leave it default. Okay, next, management. Okay, okay, I will just leave it default. Next, advanced. Okay, next, tax. Okay, review and create. Yeah, this is the summary of my configuration for my virtual machines. Oh, subscription credit applied 2.6 million in hour, right? Because, oh, I'm sorry. Uh, I forgot that if we create the Windows virtual machine, the license is not included, I think. So it costs around 2 million. It's very, very expensive, I think. So yeah, I will change the configuration. Wait, I will change the configuration for my virtual machine. Oh yeah, yeah. It different with our previous page that it says that it only costs around 1.5 million in a month, right? But when we move to the review page or the summary page, it costs 2 point, yeah, around 2 million in hour, in hour, not in a month, right? So I think I will the change the configuration because, uh maybe because if we choose the Windows 10 Pro version and the size it's around 1.5 million, it's not included. The license of Windows 10 Pro is not included in this price. So I think I will change. Maybe I will change to another Windows version. Yeah, it's okay if we use the Windows Server 2019 data center. Wait. I will change. I will wait. I will see the configuration, the another configuration. Yeah, this is the resource that we can use. We can get the smaller resource, right? So because I just only try to remote my virtual machine, so it doesn't require a high RAM, I think. So I will choose this option. Yeah, it's maybe it's very it's cheaper than our previous configuration, right? It's only cost around 166,000, right, in a month, because we only get 1 GB RAM and one virtual CPU, right? We can also use more cheaper, the cheaper option if we use around 1.5 RAM, right? But I think it's better if I use this option. Okay. 1 gigabyte RAM, then 1 virtual CPU. I know that the minimum requirement to use Windows operating system is the RAM is 1 gigabyte for 32 bits, right? So I think it's better for us to use this option, one virtual CPUs and one RAM, and the data disk it's two. I don't know, two. It means maybe we have a two partition or 2 gigabyte or what. So I will explore it. We will explore it after this. Okay, so I will use this option. Okay, maybe any other option if we choose this tab. Okay, I think it's the best option is this, just for trying the virtual machine, right? Okay, select. Okay, it's still loading. Okay, review and create. So let's see the, yeah, the cost is 200 to 228 rupiah in an hour. So I think it's because, yeah, like I was mentioning before, it's the license of Windows is not included for this price. So I think, yeah, we can just use it. Then after we successfully create the virtual machine, I will terminate that virtual machine. So it will my credit will not be used for this virtual machine. Okay. Okay, let's create our virtual machine. Okay, we will wait the initializing deployment process. So yeah, it's similar when you create a virtual machine in your computer, then you need to wait the installation process, right? Yeah, it's similar when we create a virtual machine in cloud computing providers like Microsoft Azure. Once again, it's up to you if you use your $100 credit or not. It's up to you. It's not, yeah, it's optional, because I think, I don't know, we have an experience that we can claim $100 after first claim. So I think we can claim more than one credit, more than 100 credit, right? So I don't know, maybe in the future it will not happen again. So I think, yeah, it's up to you if you use $100 your $100 credit now or not. It's up to you. I just show to you how to claim your 100 credit, then use your 100 credit for creating a virtual machine. I will save the password. Then deployment is in progress. So we will wait until the deployment process is finished. Okay. After the deployment process is finished, so we can remote our virtual machine by using a remote desktop protocol in our computer, right? Because I use a non-Windows operating system, but actually in my operating system also has application for remoting the Windows operating system. So I will open it, RDP remote Microsoft Remote Desktop, because I am using the Mac OS, so I use the Microsoft Remote Desktop application for remoting my virtual machine in cloud computing, right? So yeah, we still don't know what is the IP address of this virtual machine, because it's still in deployment process. So we still don't know what is the IP public for this virtual machine, right? Okay, we will wait it until the deployment process is finished. While we waiting the deployment process, maybe any question from you? Yeah, it's about the virtual machine. It's about the cloud computing providers. Yeah, Microsoft Azure is just one of the cloud computing providers. There are a lot of cloud computing providers. We can use the AWS. We can use the Alibaba Cloud, Huawei Cloud. There are a lot of cloud computing providers. But actually, because we have a Microsoft Azure account provided by our campus, so why not we use it, right? And you can also get $100 credit, right? But actually, you cannot transfer your 100 credit to your bank account. Yeah, it's funny because it can be used for trying some features in Microsoft Azure. So we cannot transfer your $100 to your bank account. It's possible. So yeah, eh, we still waiting the deployment process. So if you have any question, you can ask to me about uh, the cloud computing, the Microsoft Azure account. So I think you have tried to log into your Microsoft Azure account, right? When you downloading the when you download the ISO of Windows 10 that we use in previous week. So I think you have tried to log into your Microsoft Azure account. Then I think it's not there is no problem for you to use your Microsoft Azure account. But maybe if you have any problem to log into your Microsoft Azure account, you can ask to me. Then we can discuss it now, right? So I, I want to know about the Zenhard. Zenhard, have you tried to log into your Microsoft Azure account before?
Pardon, sir?
Have you tried to log into your Microsoft Azure account before? Have you tried to log into your Microsoft Azure account?
Yes, sir, recently.
Okay. Then then you can try to log into your Microsoft Azure account again. Then yeah, you can claim your $100 credit, but it's up to you. It's your right to use it or not, to claim it or not, because I think maybe in the future, in the next semester, there is a course that more need to use the cloud computing service than our operating system course. It's up to you. But actually, like you see in my presentation, that we can claim the credit for the second time, but I don't know, maybe it's we cannot claim our second $100 again in the future. But I don't know, maybe it will happen again or not, I don't know. But actually, maybe if you're interested to use some features in Microsoft Azure, so you can claim your credit, right? Okay.
Okay.
uh yeah, any questions, Zenar? No.
What's the benefit if I claim and if I don't?
The benefits, you can use this some service that provided by the Microsoft Azure, like uh, I was doing right, like I'm doing right now. I create a virtual machine, right? So maybe
Okay.
in your another course, maybe you want to create an application. Then your application need a computer server, need a database server. Then you don't want to put your database server in your computer, because you have a plan that my application can be accessed everywhere. If you put your database server in your computer, so your application can access the database when your application and your computer have a same network. But you don't want it. You want your database server can be accessed by many clients, right? So everywhere, every time, because you think that your application is a very good, then you want all user can use it every time, everywhere. So it's better if you use the cloud computing service, because you know Microsoft Azure Like I was showed to you before, like I have showed to you before that we can use some services that provided by the Microsoft Azure, like database server, virtual machine, and something like that. Okay, uh, the deployment process is complete. Then go to resource. Yeah, what is the IP of this virtual machine? Okay, this is the IP address, right? So I want to remote my virtual machine in my Microsoft Azure account. I want to remote it from my computer, right? So I will create, yeah, add a PC. Then the PC name or the IP address, yeah, just paste from this. Then okay, add this one. Yeah, I can remote it, right? So the password, the username and the password. Yeah, it's like I was fill before in the configuration step. Yeah, I have a virtual machine right now, right? This virtual machine is run on cloud computing providers. It's run on the Microsoft Azure. I don't need to install the Windows operating system in my computer. I just pay to Microsoft Azure to run my virtual machine. Yeah, it's a good thing for us that we can use our virtual machine for, yeah, for anything. Maybe you can install the web server in your virtual machine, then you can install the database server in your virtual machine, and this virtual machine has an IP public address. This IP public address can be accessed every time, everywhere, as long as you pay for your virtual machine. Yeah, like you see before that we and the cost for running this virtual machine is around 200,000 rupiah in hour. So I have around $100 credit US dollar. $100 credit is around maybe 1.4 million. Then this virtual machine only can run for maybe for 7 hours, right? Yeah, it's a very expensive, I think, but it is because we use the Windows operating system. We also pay for the license for the virtual for the Windows operating system. So, like I was mentioning before, in the first uh, semester, I'm sorry, in the beginning of this course, that Windows operating system is paid operating system. When if you want to a free operating system, we can choose the Linux. So maybe when I use the Linux operating system for this virtual machine, the price is cheaper than when we use the Windows operating system. Okay, I accept. Okay, yeah, like you see that I have a virtual machine that runs Windows operating system. Yeah, it's very expensive because it costs $200 in hour, right? But actually, I don't need to be worried about my virtual machines. It's always run. Although in our country, we don't really hope that there is an earthquake in our country, then my virtual machine still can be run because it's run on the cloud computing providers. Okay, so I want to see the internet speed from my virtual machine. Because my virtual machine is run on the Microsoft Azure. I believe that this virtual machine has uh, high speed for the internet. So I just want to use the speed test for testing the internet speed, download speed and upload speed for my virtual machine. So yeah, it's really slow because it only has 1 GB of RAM, right? So I think a big company, a big startup will use the cloud computing providers. Yeah, it's not the, yeah, maybe they think that 200 200,000 rupiah, it's not expensive because they get a lot of benefits from there. Okay, wait, yeah, uh, we need to be patient because we run 1 GB RAM. Okay, it's very lucky, right? Wow, it's close. Wait, still loading. Yeah. As you can see right here, the clock show to us that it's 1 a.m. I don't know. It has a different region with our location because we don't put this virtual machine in. Yeah, we put this virtual machine on Asia region, but I don't know. Maybe there is an information in Microsoft Azure where I put this virtual machine. I think it has a different region with our country, right? Okay. Yeah, I just want to test the internet speed of this virtual machine. So I think, I believe that when we put our virtual machine on cloud computing, it is it will has a lot of it will have a good internet connection. So okay, okay, yeah. The IP path and the IP is provided by the Microsoft. Wait a minute. Okay, while we waiting the testing speed process, so maybe it's better if I move back to the Microsoft Azure page. So as you can see right here, there are some information that can read in this page. The computer name is Noval. The operating system is Windows. Yeah, the version of the Windows is Windows 10. Then the size is, yeah, the virtual CPU is 1. Then the RAM is 1 GB. Yeah, this is the IP public, the IP address, public IP address. Then yeah, while we running this operating system, then it will decrease our credit, right? So if you don't want to run your virtual machine because you know that you only has you only have $100 credit, so you can just stop it. If you stop this virtual machine, so We cannot remote again our virtual machine. Yeah, it's very laggy. I know that it only has one virtual CPU and 1 GB of RAM. So I think it's very laggy. Yeah, as we can see right here, this maybe this virtual machine is located on China, right? This the region is Asia, so I think this operating system is located, it's placed in China region. So yeah, we will move back to the Microsoft Azure page. Yeah. mm, Monitoring. So we can just, yeah, we can also see the monitoring page. As you can see right here, the CPU, the usage of the CPU, it's around 30%, and the network it's around, yeah, 75 megabyte. Yeah, because I open the web page on the virtual machine, then it use around 75 megabyte for the downloading. Then the disk, the use of disk, yeah, it's similar when you open your resource monitor in your Windows operating system, right? The capabilities, the recommendation, yeah, you know that there are a lot of features in Microsoft Azure. As you can see, if you know all the features of this Microsoft Azure, so you will get the license. Because when we when we use the Microsoft Azure cloud computing providers, I'm sorry, if when you use the Microsoft Azure, then you know all the features of this Microsoft Azure, I think you can apply for the Microsoft Azure certification. Because there is a training that provided by Microsoft. After you pass the training, then you pass the exam from the Microsoft, you will get the Microsoft Azure certification. Yeah, it can be useful when you want to apply. Maybe you apply to some companies, then you can show your certification, you can show your certificate. Yeah, it's very useful for you, because and the company will see you that you have a capabilities to managing the Microsoft Azure cloud computing service. So I think if you interest to learn a lot of Microsoft Azure features, you can apply for the Microsoft Azure certification. It's not only an exam, but you will get the uh, training also. Then after you pass the training, you will doing an exam or get the Microsoft Azure certification. So yeah, we'll move back to the hmm, it's only 71.65 megabytes. It's not a good, I think, but I don't know. Maybe it's also depend on this virtual machine specification, because we can we only have 1 GB of RAM. So yeah, it's only 71.65 megabit per second. It's not good, I think. So I don't know. Yeah, we will explore it more, because I don't want to lose my credit. So I think I will stop my virtual machine. I will stop my virtual machine. I will disconnect it. Then I will stop the virtual machine. Yeah. Then after you stop this virtual machine, then you run it again. So you will get another IP address. But if you choose this option, do you want to resolve the public IP address? You can just check it. But I think I don't want to resolve my IP address, so I think that it's okay if I get another IP address. Okay, stopping virtual machine. When you stop your virtual machine, then it will not decreasing your credit, right? Yeah. Okay, any question from you? Yeah, it's very interesting part in this course because we learn cloud computing, then we can just create a virtual computer in a cloud. So it's in this modern era, the cloud computing service, it's very, very useful for you to build an application, to give a service to your application. It's very useful. So any question from you? Yeah, if you don't have any question, it's okay. So I give a video, comparison video between cloud computing providers. There are two videos right here that comparing Microsoft Azure with Google Cloud, with Alibaba Cloud. You can watch these two videos. Then you need to write down anything new that you get and tell it in narrative form, at least half an A4 page with the default font in Microsoft Word. Then collect your narration in PDF form at classroom, maximum 2 days after this course. Okay. Yeah, I think that is only our discussion today, the cloud computing, right? We also learn more about the cloud computing service after midterm exam. So yeah, after midterm exam, we will focusing on the Linux operating system. And I think that maybe all of you never use the Linux operating system, and we will discuss it after midterm exam. And I will give you information about the midterm exam. So I think the midterm exam will be in week one, like in Monday. So you need to prepare for the midterm exam, and you need to learn from and the material course from week 1 to week 7. Then for the midterm exam, it's like our previous quiz. It's multiple choice, and you need to learn it. And you can open all of your media. You can use the internet for getting the answer. It's okay. And yeah, you need to prepare it for the midterm exam. Any question? Yeah, this is our last course before midterm exam, right? After midterm exam, we will discuss about the Linux operating system. And I will put this recording video after this class, so you can maybe you interest to claim your credit in your Microsoft Azure account, so you can watch this video. Okay. If you don't have any question, uh, I will end this meeting. But actually, uh, I really hope that we have a lot of discussion in Telegram group. If you have any problem with the operating system and you have an experience for the for your operating system, so you can discuss it in Telegram group, right? Okay, there is a question from Kathleen. How if you stop the virtual machine after 1 hour? Will your credit decrease? No, at all. If I stop my virtual machines, I stop the service in my Microsoft Visual account, right? So it will not decrease my credit. So okay, I interest to show to you what is my remaining credit after I run my virtual machine is around maybe 10 to 15 minutes, right? So I will share my screen again. I want to see my remaining credit, right? So I will see in the cost management and billing. Yeah. Okay. So I will see my remaining credit. Yeah, after I stop my virtual machine, it will not decreasing my credit, I think. So yeah, we use it just for 10 to 15 minutes, right? So we see what is my remaining credit. Yeah, my remaining credit is still $100, right? So maybe I use just for short time, just for 10 minutes, so it will not decrease my credit, I think. So I don't know, maybe uh, the Microsoft Azure has a procedure for the decreasing the credit by maybe it will refresh every 1 hour. So after 1 hour, my credit will be decreased because I use 10 minutes for my virtual machine before, right? So yeah, I will tell you after this. I will refresh my credit. I will refresh my credit page. I will refresh this page after this in the next 1 hour. So I will show to you is my uh, does my credit is decreased or not. I will tell you after this. So I think, yeah, if you interest to use it, yeah, you can claim your credit. But I will show to you how to claim your credit because you know I will sign in with another account. I will sign with my friend's account, Mr. Miftah, also a lecturer in our campus, and I borrow his account, his Azure account, because this account has not claimed the credit. So if you want to uh, claim your credit, you need to choose Explore. Wait, I will move back again to the portal page. If you want to claim your credit, so you need to choose the Explore button. Then uh, you need to claim your Azure credit now, right? Yeah, okay, I will claim the credit. Then choose this button. uh, you can just follow the step for claiming your credit, right? So maybe start free, yeah, because I borrow this account. I don't want to, yeah, because I uh, haven't tell to Mr. Miftah to claim his credit, so I don't want to claim his credit. So I think if you interest to claiming your credit, so you can just follow the instruction in this page, right? I think if you claim your credit, it's just, yeah, choose this button, start free, then next, then finish. You will get $100 in your credit. Okay, yeah, yeah, it's very interesting, I think. So if you're interested to use the cloud computing service, we can use the Microsoft Azure. Maybe you have a project, yeah, you have a project to creating a website, then you don't need to buy a hosting. You don't need to buy a hosting service. You can use the service in Microsoft Azure, right? As long as you have 100 credits in your account. So yeah, say, wait a minute. I will share my screen again. So we will explore more about another features in Microsoft Azure. So honestly, uh, I also haven't get the Microsoft Azure certification. So I don't know some hidden features maybe in virtual in Microsoft Azure. Microsoft Azure. So I haven't explored more about some services that provided by Microsoft Azure. But if we see all the service, yeah, there are a lot of service right here, right? So if you want to create a web server, maybe wait, I will see is there a web server service web, yeah, there are a lot of service, right? You can just put from the categories web, yeah, you can create web service, sorry, web server, app service, uh, app service. If you don't know what is app service, yeah, create, build, deploy, and manage powerful web, mobile, and API apps for employees or customers using a single backend build standard based. web apps and APIs using net, Java, Node.js, PHP, and Python. So I think if you want to create a web server, maybe you have a project to create a web application, then we can use the credit, your credit in Microsoft Azure account, yeah, by using this service, right? I think it's more powerful than any web hosting service that provided by, yeah, by another uh, s- uh, providers, because Microsoft Azure is managed by Microsoft, so it's very powerful, I think. So you don't need to be worried about the risk or the security in your web. Okay, then if you want to create a database with databases, you can also use for the blockchain, right? If you interest to get, the Bitcoin is very uh, trending right now, right? You can use a blockchain service. I don't know, is it useful or not, but I think if you know how the Bitcoin work, how the blockchain work, you need a computer server that always run to mining the blockchain, right? To solving the algorithm that provided by the blockchain. The blockchain is the cryptocurrency, like, Ethereum or Bitcoin. Uh, it's a trending currency right now, cryptocurrency. So if you interest to build a computer to for mining the Bitcoin, you can use this service, right? But I don't know, is it value deal or not, because when you run your computer, so you need a credit to run your computer. But which I'm sorry, how much Bitcoin that you get, it's more than the credit that you will get or not. It's, I don't know, because I have not tried it. But if you want to try to use your $100 credits, it's okay if you just try it for uh, building the blockchain service in Microsoft Azure. Yeah, if yeah, you can also use some features for AI and machine learning. Maybe you want to create AI application, then when we create a AI application, we need a powerful computer to build a model, right? So maybe you want to create application for detecting uh, some object in image, right? So you can use this service for building a computer for AI or machine learning. You can also use Internet of Things. Yeah, honestly, I have not tried one by one of these features, so I don't know. I cannot explain to you more in some particular service that provided this by this Microsoft Azure. So I think if you interest to try it one by one, yeah, it's okay. You have $100 credit in your account, then you can just explore some features, some service that provided by the Microsoft Azure. Yeah, it's very interesting, I think. So if we work, if we put an application, so your application will be used by a lot of people, right? Every time, everywhere. So you need to put your application in cloud in cloud service, right? So I think for this era, so in our department, informatic engineering, information technology, so we need to learn uh, the newest way to build an application, right? So if you just stay in your computer, then you don't use some features in cloud computing. So I think your application will be not useful for all people. So I think for the next 5 years, maybe, so you need to maybe all of application will use the cloud computing service, right? So I think you need to learn about this. I know that in the next semester, there is a course about the cloud computing that focus on the cloud computing. So you will get more information, more knowledge on that course. Okay, I will stop my share, my screen. Wait. Yeah, I really hope that in our group, in our Telegram group, we have a lot of discussion about the some uh, knowledge about the operating system, cloud computing, so we can use that Telegram group for discussing for the newest knowledge about the operating system, about the technology. I really want that we have a good discussion in that Telegram group. Okay, thank you for your attention. So I will end this course and I will share this recording video after this. Then if you have any question, I I'm really open to ask your question in maybe now you haven't any question that after this course maybe you try some service in Microsoft Azure, then you have a problem and you have interesting part that you get from the Microsoft Azure. We can discuss it on Telegram group. Okay. Okay, thank you for attention. I will end this course. Good morning.